So in this video, we're going to be going through the implementation of the game. First off, we're going through the test log. There are 14 tests in the game to make sure it all works. I'll go through them in chronological order. So the first one is just starting the game. It kind of functions, not fully. The ball and the paddle moved just fine, but the scoring system didn't work at all. After that, we introduced the paddle underline, which goes underneath the paddle. In the second test, it doesn't move. So in the third log, in the third test, we temporarily hold it on that and tried to apply canvas side codes to the paddle, but that doesn't work. So in the fourth test log, we get the paddle underline to work properly. It works just fine. And then the fifth one, just some fine tuning on the paddle underline again. Test 6 is getting the score to work. But the paddle underline gives points. And then the seventh test, we introduced a delay function, which at the time was completely useless, but will later be used. The 8th test log is just the game runs smoothly in the first stage of its development. So now we have introduced two new things. So first off, in the 9th test log, we have introduced the difficulty setting so that you can actually select your difficulty. Each difficulty grants a different amount of lives. If the ball hits the bottom of the screen, then one life is taken away, and you can pretty much guess what it's like from there. And also, the second thing that was added was blocks were put into the screen. 36. And if the ball hit one point was added, and the block disappeared. Now we are trying to get the ball to work properly, the ball to actually move in a random direction upon hitting something. It doesn't work. It moves out of control completely. So that was the 11th test log. And then the next test is no better, still out of control. Then after that, the ball direction is sufficiently random, and it is pretty good. It works from there. The second last test is the score doesn't work because I removed some blocks at that point, and the way the winning the game works is that once you have accumulated a certain amount of points upon getting rid of all the blocks, which was, at the time of this test, 24, the game still thought that it was 36 blocks, so I had to remedy that. In the final 14th test log, the game works perfectly normally. So that is the first part. Now the second part is the survey. So the survey questions were, what did you like in the game? This was multiple choice, where it said the ball, the blocks, the positioning of everything on the screen, and the selection of difficulties. The next question was there anything in the game that you didn't like? The next question was, would you suggest any additional features? And last question, or second last question, is there anything else you would like to say about the game? The final question was, what is your name? To simply link people who have completed the survey with that person. The answers, out of the 4 people that filled the survey, nobody liked the ball. 1 person liked the blocks, 1 person liked the positioning of everything on the screen, and everyone liked a selection of difficulties. The second question, 3 out of 4 people didn't like the lag in the game, which is something that I did all my efforts to reduce, and an irrelevant answer by Jordan. The third question was, would you suggest any additional features? 2 people said no. 1 person said add some Easter eggs, and the 4th person was another irrelevant answer. The 4th question, is there anything else you would like to say about the game? 2 out of 4 people said no. 1 person said it was very good, and the last person said horrible lag. Question 5, well, it's just people. So Blaze answered the survey, Jordan Davies, Demon Redknapp, and Fionn Vickers answered the survey. So that was the second component of implementation. The third is the project management process. So the game created does meet the user's needs and expectations according to the survey that was conducted. The app does not collect data, but it does give feedback to the user by telling the user that the game is over through the lives variable, or that the user has won the match through the score variable. The end user did not provide feedback or criticism on the scoring system or the lives system, but from personal experience with the game is good at conveying data to the user. The usability of the game is fairly good, besides the long period of time it takes for the game to load, especially after you have selected your difficulty, because there are a lot of stuff in the actual game screen. So proper revision of the game while it was being developed was critical to ensure that the game's various elements operate and are properly coordinated. The method used to ensure that the game worked and operated successfully before the proposed completion date was to keep working on it until it was completed. And the way to ensure the quality of the game is compatible with the end user satisfaction is to use a survey to know what their expectations are. There aren't many future risks involved with the game. Maybe someone getting angry at the lag associated with the game, but not much else I can think of really. In order to keep the game sustainable, updates may have to be implemented in order to keep users interested in the game rather than playing it for a while and getting bored. Of course, that's not the case. The game has great potential for innovation, and this game can be remixed into a whole variety of different styles and gameplays. The game, if enough effort be put into it over an extended period of time, might bring enough money to create a business that can potentially become profitable, but that won't happen in this instance. Thank you for listening.